hit a couple of these little passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here.
Welcome to the Lion King. Look at that. I mean,
Sonia.
where's Simba?
Oh.
You're missing a Simba.
Work
Yeah,
out a little
careful.
bit more. I
Careful.
know. Is this a
Yeah,
hurt
we
something?
just got to prepare for that.
That
That's
is.
good.
Look at you painting us a picture. This is some glorious stuff. We talk about it all the time. We're just kind of spoiled with the sunrises down here. We do get some good stuff. Here's the thing. Yesterday, that thing came up and really went to work on us.
Yeah, Steve, how hot did it get yesterday? I mean, record breaking?
Yeah, record high yesterday, 97 in Baton Rouge.
No thanks.
As I mentioned, you guys, I'm out walking, picking up my kids from school yesterday. I'm thinking, it doesn't feel that bad outside. That's how crazy hot it was this summer. Now 97 doesn't feel that bad. Humidity was down, but still kind of ridiculous. All right, I'm going to start you out actually with our first alert radar this morning. We are all dry here in our part of the world. We've had some showers and storms near and especially south of New Orleans. That's just about it. Largely expecting rain chances today to kind of remain along the coast. Baton Rouge right now 70 degrees, upper 60s north of the capital city. New Road 68, Macomb checking in at 67. Another look at that beautiful sunrise right now. That's our skyline view from on top of Our Lady of the Lake. Temperatures into the upper 80s at noon, not quite as hot today. We'll go with a high of 93, 10% rain chance, probably even optimistic for those of us that are inland. Give you a look at that on our future cast, see how it generates showers and storms near and south of New Orleans. That's noon into the afternoon. Has us mainly dry at 3 o'clock. And right on late afternoon into the evening, a few showers and storms along the coast. That's about it. More cloud cover today potentially, and that's one reason we shouldn't make it all the way back up to 97. Now temperatures going to stay above normal through the weekend on into next week. The silver lining is that humidity is going to be trending a bit lower. You can see that in the dew points. We go from 70s today, maybe down into the mid 60s over the weekend and on into early next week. So that at least takes a little sting out of an otherwise warm, if not hot forecast. Still need the rain and just not seeing a whole lot in the outlook. Not seeing much to our north across the Mississippi Valley, which is bad news for the issues with the low flows on the Mississippi River. And locally, the forecast keeps us mainly dry the next 7 days. That's bad news for our local drought. All right, quick check on the tropics. Still two features out here. We've got Tropical Storm Philippe and just southeast of it, another area low pressure. How these two interact, it's going to be kind of complicated. Philippe right now, 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm, currently forecast to drift westward and just kind of slowly weaken. The disturbance behind it giving a 90% chance of development, but a lot of uncertainty on how those two features interact right now. Those look to stay out over the open Atlantic for the foreseeable future, so no worries in our part of the world. You can see here we're going to keep it hot. The afternoon temps low to mid 90s. Morning lows come down a little bit into the upper 60s. Could even see some mid 60s next week, but temperatures staying above normal, and also we keep it mainly dry right on through the end of next week. Time 7:06, Johnny. Yeah, it's going to be back to I think running the sprinkler more and more in the days ahead.
And running through the sprinkler. Thank you very much. Let's go up to Central. Steve, we have a lot of things going on Greenville Springs Road, and it's just not getting much better at all between Central Thruway and the Magnolia Bridge Road area. Have a wreck that was, that's the one that started everything right near Oak Cluster. Still working that one, but then there's a secondary wreck that they have cleared, but backups remain at Magnolia Bridge Road right there. So you can definitely see those backups as we make our way through the central area on Greenville Springs Road. And running down here near Essen Lane at I-10 on Essen, there's a crash that had some lanes blocked on both north and southbound side, and the police officers arrived. They've got the wrecker on the scene now, but they moved the accident vehicles out of the travel lanes. And by the way, when it's safe to do so, whether you're on the interstate or on one of our surface streets, when it's safe to do so, that is what we're required to do, is move those crash vehicles out of the travel lanes, and that's a good example of how to do that very safely. 7:07, we do it every morning, condense our morning show into a brief little capsule format. We move over to Studio B, Liz Coe and Matt Williams, and give you the updates on the most important ones we're watching. Guys?
Johnny, thanks for taking us around. Let's start there in the nation's capital, where we're facing another looming deadline. Could the government shut down at 11:59 Saturday night?
That seems like a very growing possibility. It almost seems like a certainty at this point. You've had a couple of continuing resolutions offered up by different sides from the House, the Senate as well. It looks like the Senate bipartisan deal was just kind of put into the garbage by the House Speaker, so that looks like it's a non-starter. What is going to be the outcome here? What happens when the government shuts down? We've had this happen before, and so who doesn't get paid? What departments really have to almost shut the doors and lock the windows? The impact can be very far-reaching, and it can impact you and I at many different levels.
Yeah, we saw this in the past, right? From TSA agents, to longer TSA lines at the airport. You've got a number of these agencies already talking with their staff saying, look, prepare for the worst, start saving your money because you don't know when that next paycheck will come if they don't come to an agreement. We're talking, as you mentioned, everyday impact to everyday people who are working these federal jobs. So can they come to an agreement before then? We keep our eyes on this continuously to see what's going to come out of the nation's capital. We'll let you know.
Obviously. So that's a gigantic conversation starter, right? This as well. The big debate last night, GOP presidential debate, you had 7 contenders, if you will, on stage, but the focus was on 2 people who weren't there. The current president and the former president.
Yep, President Donald Trump. And we knew this. They were both going to be in Michigan, right? You've got the auto worker strike, the United Auto Worker strike there. In Detroit, on the picket lines, kind of for 2 purposes. President Biden with them to kind of say, I'm there with you in solidarity, whereas President Trump is campaigning there on the picket line. So when's going to be the next debate? Where it's actually scheduled for November in Miami, Florida. Trump says he's already not going to be there.
And look, okay, so skip the first one, skip the second one, says he's skipping the third one. It looks to be a winning kind of a philosophy here.
Right.
His poll numbers not taking a hit. And meanwhile, these continue to fluctuate, trying to figure out who's going to be second place in all this. So we'll see. But did this convince anybody either way? You can read up on this, the takeaways from that second GOP debate. So as we do that, as the country does that, okay, Louisiana trying to focus a little bit on the gubernatorial debates and races. Actually, there's a debate tonight.
Yeah, actually, LPB, Louisiana Public Broadcasting, and A Better Louisiana, a nonprofit, they're hosting a debate tonight from 7 to 8 o'clock. You can watch it live on LPB, their 6-station network, or there's a place for you to stream it, 2 places. Both are linked to their website. So if you have trouble with one, you can watch the other. Another last-minute ditch effort to convince voters to vote for them before early voting gets started this Saturday.
Yeah, that is this weekend.
I know. Can you believe it?
So
Time's flying.
These really are, for a lot of folks, those last conversations to convince somebody, if somebody's on that fence trying to lean a certain way. There, it's right there waiting for you. Okay, so here's the thing. It's not just a governor's race. It's not just, we got a lot of different races going on from, Secretary of State, Treasurer, all this stuff. There are also 4 amendments on the ballot. And anytime there's an amendment on the ballot, and Louisiana's pretty good at doing amendments, we do a lot of them, you need to know the pros, the cons, the fors and againsts, and there's really one group who does a good job at that.
PAR Louisiana. Let's take you to their website where you can actually see, look, it's an independent area for them to kind of break these down for you. So this is parlouisiana.org. When you click on it, you're going to scroll through and see a number of different options here for you to find the guide. Well, they have a guide to the 2023 constitutional amendments. You go there and you can find a long version of them breaking down each amendment. So this one is going to take you through multiple pages where they explain what's going to be listed out on your ballot. This is the actual text. And then if you'd like kind of a digest, a shorter form of it, it's going to show you what it means for a vote for and a vote against it. And you've got 4, so make sure you read up on them and know exactly what they mean, right? Retirement debt, how the state and Congress or state legislators are going to figure out how to get that surplus on retirement debt, protection for worship in churches, election donations. We've got a lot of these here, so you got to read up on it and know exactly what we're voting on when you get into that ballot booth.
That way you have it all mapped out when you walk in there. It's a short stay in the voting booth. When you get there, you're not trying to figure it out. I use this all the time. It's a great resource.
Same. You can even print it out and bring it too with your selection.
It makes it easy. Right there, you can put it on the phone if you want to, all that way. All right, so all that's going on. This is going on today as well. This evening, East Baton Rouge School Board has a meeting. They've got to appoint a new school board member. They had one actually resign earlier this month.
About 26 days ago,
There
she
you go.
sent a vague email saying, "Dear all, I quit." So who will
Yeah,
replace Katie
that's what it
Kinnison,
was.
right? School board members are tasked with finding out that replacement, but they've got a little bit of time here. Tonight they're going to talk about it, but they've got October 4th to figure out who will replace that seat. What happens then?
If they don't figure that out by then, I wonder who has the ultimate decision here. That'd be Governor John Bell Edwards.
Yeah.
He would then appoint somebody who would then fill that spot until an election would actually happen to fill it permanently.
Yeah.
That election would probably be spring of 2024. So again, it starts tonight.
Yeah.
East Baton Rouge School Board meeting. We'll let you know. Oh boy, what a great idea. What a great program. Kelly Hubbard talking this morning about some moves being made in the juvenile justice system, trying to reduce the recidivism rate with some of these kids.
Yeah.
Essentially, what a great opportunity.
You've got all the right people involved here. And by right, I mean the people who constantly deal with the youth, right? You've got the district attorney's office.
Right.
That's why you're seeing Hiller Moore. And then he's asking nonprofits to step in, right? And this is where 100 black men of Metro Baton Rouge, they've together created a program called Not in My House. And the whole focus of this is to transform the behavior, the attitude of young people so they catch them before they start getting into any of that trouble.
crazy, right.
We've got 10 graduates who are graduating from that program today. We heard from a parent who says this has transformed my relationship with my son. He's graduating today, and this has changed the course of our relationship and who he's going to be as a man. How pivotal is that when you talk about a
Something
parent
positive.
seeing transformation in their own child?
Something positive.
Yes.
It really is. You know, guys, we talk a lot about we need to have more positive programs out there. Why aren't we doing this? Why? This really does seem like one of those programs. The whole goal is to literally save lives and get folks back on path.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes it's like we need more police, we need more of that. Ultimately, it's about community involvement, right? It's
Exactly.
about us getting involved and helping affect that change, and we saw a great example of that this morning.
Love that. That's a good effort for the 100 Black Men. I love that organization too. They're just so positive.
It's one of the
in
great
that
ones.
room.
You're right.
Yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
great ones.
A lot of community leaders stepping up and making sure you can get involved. If you want to find out details, Callie's got all those details for you. But Steve, looking at are we going to break another record today?
No, please.
I think the record today should be safe. I think the record is 97 going 93, but man, still running way too warm.
Hot.
Yeah,
Hot.
way too hot.
Cool off, grab a cold glass of water. We'll see you in 10 minutes.
The winning play is the Buy Here, Sell Here event at the Team Automotive Group. Buy here and save on hundreds of certified and pre-owned vehicles. Or sell here and we'll pay you top value. Buy here or sell here and you'll be the winner at every location of the Team Automotive Group.